Everyone, it's Melissa, and on today's tutorial, we will be making a matching necklace to the Golden Autumn bracelets. We'll be using the Jesse James Beads Autumn Sky Bead Mix, Soft Flex wire in red Jasper, and Czech Glass. And I will go ahead and leave links down below in the description box for the products that I used. And for the Czech Glass, you will be using about 6 or 7 strands to make the necklace, just depending how long you'd like it. And I will go ahead and leave the measurements down below as well. Additional supplies you will need are 6 millimeter jump rings. I'm using gold, some head pins, 2x2 in gold, and this beautiful clasp by Tierra Cast. And these leaves and 4 millimeter smoky quartz by a local bead shop, Artistic Beads and Studio, located in Placerville, California. You will also need some tools. So let's go ahead and start creating this beautiful necklace. Autumn Skies bead mix, we're going to be using our leaf charms. So we have the maple leaf, and then we're going to be using the 2 golden leaves here. We have a nice little assortment of beads. Jesse James Beads always does a wonderful job at their color mixes and just putting little spacers in there so you have everything you need for your project. And we can also use a couple of the smaller leaves too. We'll just have to see how they fit in with the necklace. To get started, we're going to be using our soft flex wire. We're going to cut about 30 inches. And this is for one side of the necklace. And then we're just going to trim. We're going to grab our 2 sides of the wire. We'll put 2 beads on one side of the wire and 1 bead on the other. We're just going to let that slide down. So you'll just have 3 beads. Then we're going to take our 4th bead, slide it on one side of the wire. And of the other wire, we don't want it going in the same direction. We want to crisscross. So we have it going through this way. We're going to take that second wire and crisscross. So it's going to look like that. And we're just gently pull as we slide that bead down. And we're going to create our little square. Now we want to make sure that our wires are even. So this one is not. We need to make sure they're even or else our project won't turn out. Just going to loosen it up just a little and slide it down until we're even. So we have our little unit of our 4 beads. We're going to grab our 2 wires and slide a bead on each side. So it's going to look just like that. We're going to slide those down, pick up a bead, slide it on one side, and we're going to do the crisscross. Come in through the other side, and then just pull. What I love about this project and using the soft flex wire is that the wire shows between the beads, so you can really match your color combos, and it really adds to your design. And it's going to start to curve just a little bit, but when you get about 5 or 6 little components down with the crisscross, then it'll straighten out. So we're just going to keep repeating these steps. Put a bead on each side, and then we're going to crisscross and slide. I'll show you the little pearl. It's going to start to curve like that, but just straighten it out. Soft flex is extremely flexible, so you can straighten it out every time it curls. We're just going to continue our pattern. And for a necklace, you're going to need about 23 to 25 little units. And when I count a unit, I count the bead that we went crisscross on. I have 2 more. We're going to crisscross and slide. So your project should be looking like this. and then you're just going to continue down. So we have one side of our necklace almost completed, and we're just going to attach our jump ring so we can add on our clasp. So we're going to slide on one 7 mm bead after our final crisscross, one of our golds, 2x2s, and a jump ring. We're going to go over the jump ring. We're not passing through it. We're just going to pass through our 2x2 and slide it down. We want to make sure that that's resting on top of that last Czech glass bead that we put on. Yeah, you have a design option here to make. If you want, you can go ahead and smash bead down, or you can put the next loop on, so that way you can make sure that your loops are fairly similar in size. So I'm going to leave mine off to the side for now. Put on another 7 mm bead. A little tricky if you haven't smashed down the other side yet because you'll have your little tail in the way. So we're going through our jump ring. Just going to pass back through our 2x2. Just slide that in. And now we're going to make sure that our loops are fairly the same size, which they are. And now we're just going to go and give them a squeeze so we can tighten them on our project. We're going to do the same thing on the other side and squeeze. So your project will look like that. We're just going to take our nippers and trim off our little extra soft flex wire. And you always want to save any extra soft flex wire that you may have. You'll never know when you'll need it for like a little charm, an earring, or just because. So our project is going to look like that. We'll have our jump ring on one side, and then it's going to have our point here. And this is going to be our connection point where we're going to start to build out the other side of the necklace. So we're going to take our soft flex wire and cut an additional 30 inches. So we have our soft flex wire. We're going to go ahead and fold it in half, but we're not going to trim it. We have our completed section here for the first part, and we're going to string our soft flex through this side bead here. So essentially we're creating a V style necklace, and then we'll add the charms on. If we exit out of this bead here or put our new wire through here, it's just going to continue and it will just keep going straight and it won't have that curve to it. So we're going to just try to slide in our wire through that side bead. It doesn't matter if it's this bead or this bead, as long as it's one of the side ones, so you can create that V pattern. Then I like to grab the little other tail of the soft flex and just pull so that it is even. Just going to rotate, and we're going to do the same thing going down on this side. I always think it looks like a little heart when you get started the first couple rows. So we're going to put a bead, one on each side, and then we're going to do the pass through and the crisscross. You kind of have to hold on to the ends on the first couple just because we just slid this through, so it is a little loose and can move on you, and we want to make sure that our lengths are the same size. And it might twist a little bit just because you have that long of a soft flex wire. So once you get the first little unit on there, you can start to see how it's curving. Then we just want to double check that our string is the same length on both sides. And we're just going to continue our pattern. One bead on each side. And then we're going to crisscross. And slide through. Twist it. It's going to do the same thing where it's going to start to curl up, but just flatten it out. And it does straighten up just like on this side of the necklace. So we're just going to keep doing the same pattern until we have our desired length and it matches the other side of the necklace. So we're almost completed with our necklace. We have our units on this side. So you're going to count your units that you have. I have 27 on mine. So I'm just going to do one less on this side because we made the connection here. So this is actually the first unit of the second row. So when you make your necklace, you'll put 25 or 27, whatever you would like for your necklace, and you'll just put one less crisscross unit. And then you can always check. You just kind of fold it in half, you can see how many more units you need. So I'll just need 2 more, and then we'll attach the clasp. And you'll know if it's off center because you'll have the point that will be a little bit crooked. And that's another good way to double check the measurements. So we're going to do our crisscross. And then once we're done with this, the really fun part begins of embellishing the project. Since it's still autumn, we're going to do some falling leaves, but these really make great Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, and you can customize them to really anything. You can do them for birthdays, like if the birthday's in February, the birthstone is amethyst, and you could do purple. If they like cats, you could put a cat charm or put a puppy charm and really make it fun. So we're just going to double check and make sure that we have enough. We do. And now we're just going to attach our clasp. So I cut a little extra soft flex than what I needed to work with. So I'm just going to trim some of that off. We're going to finish the necklace. So we have our last 7mm bead on. We're going to slide on our tube, slide on our jump ring, and then just pass back through, skipping the jump ring. And slide. Again, smash. Jump rings in the way. Rotate. And I'm just going to trim this tail off here because it's still kind of long. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And we're going to attach it to the other jump ring. And just pass back through, skipping over the jump ring. Make sure that our loops are fairly the same size. So now we have finished the base of our necklace, and we're just going to attach this beautiful tiara cast clasp. It's going to open up another jump ring. When you're opening up jump rings, remember you just want to pull side to side, not apart. So just a gentle twist. We're going to attach one to the jump ring and slide on our clasp. And you can use any clasps for this project you would like. And just make sure it's closed. And if you need to make it a little bit longer, you could add another jump ring or a little piece of chain, or even put some of this Czech glass in like a little wire wrap and extend it that way. We're just going to slide it on and close. And we have our clasp and our necklace. And this is a beautiful necklace, as is perfect, a real statement piece, but we're just going to embellish it now. Now we're going to start to add on our charms and embellishments. So it might be a little curvy here. It'll straighten out. So we're going to use this maple leaf as our center. So we're going to open up a 6mm jump ring. Gentle twist. Now it's up to you. You can go ahead and add on the charm and then try to attach it, or we can put the jump ring on first and then the charm. So we have this little opening here where you can see the soft flex wire showing between the two 7mm beads. We're just going to put in the jump ring. So it's just going to go right over that soft flex and in between the two Czech Glass. And then you're going to attach your charm and close. And then we'll have our first little embellishment. And you'll just keep designing where you want to put your additional charms, how many you want. If you just want one, you can add a tassel. This is the fun and creative part where you get to design your project. And we have these little gold leaves. And these ones, I'm going to go ahead and put the smoky quartz beads on, making a simple loop with the one-step looper. Put those on. We have our falling leaves. Since we have it designed how we would like, I'm just going to add on the additional charms. And you can make an asymmetrical necklace if you would like. If you want all of the gold charms on one side, we're just going to open up that jump ring again. And we're going to count a few in. Just try to pop it in between the cord or between the two Czech Glass beads. And if you have a one-sided charm, you just have to make sure that it is facing the correct way as all your other charms. And then we're just going to keep on adding our charms. I'm going to try to make mine symmetrical. So we have this on this link. We're just going to put it over here on this one. Those. So now we're going to make this little leaf charm with the 4mm smoky quartz embellishments. I'm using a 1.5mm one-step looper. So we're just going to slide on 4 smoky quartz beads, 1 on each head pin. And you could use any gemstone. You could use tiger's eye, agate, any Jasper. So we're just going to put in our head pin through our one-step looper. We want to give it a little bit of wiggle room just so it doesn't crack or crush our bead. We're just going to give it a squeeze and it's going to make our loop for us. And we're just going to repeat that. And if you wanted to, alternatively, you could just do a simple loop with your round nose pliers, or you could make a wrapped loop and have a couple spirals on it or a little bit of wire wrapping, completely up to you. So once we have our loop, we're just going to come in and take our round nose pliers and make sure that the loop is completely closed. Sure it's completely closed, just like that. And then we're going to open up our jump ring. We're going to attach the leaf on first. And we're going to put 2 smoky quartz on each side of the leaf. So it creates a little cluster. And then we're going to attach it to our necklace. Find the right space for it. And this is a little difficult just because it has those little dangles on it. Just get it just right. And then we're just going to close it back up. And we have our little leaf dangle. Adding on our last leaf. And you can keep embellishing more if you want to add more charms. We have our beautiful golden autumn necklace. And then we have our golden autumn bracelets. Also, with the holidays quickly approaching, I went ahead and made a Christmas one on the garnet softlex color, and these are 8 millimeter Czech glass. So you can kind of see a little bit of the size comparison if you wanted to make it just a little bit bigger. And these are available on softflexcompany.com. And I went ahead and added their little Christmas charms that they have. There, I put a couple snowmen on there and this cute little reindeer with the clasp. And you can do the same project just in Christmas theme. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe for further content, tutorials, and unboxings. Have a wonderful day.